Those hipsters, I want to.
I said, don't stop, don't stop, don't stop talking to me. Don't stop giving me things.
Alright guys, so here we are for episode number 3 of the F1 2013 Career Mode series here in China. I believe we should have around about the same pace as we did in Malaysia, as this track is pretty similar to that track, so we'll see how we go. This is Friday practice and it looks like we've got some R&D objectives to complete, but before that it looks like our engineer has something to say.
Okay, even though you're part of a team, we both know you'll want to be outperforming your teammate in both qualifying and in races. He's got the same car, so it's pretty much an even fight in terms of machinery. Here you can keep an eye on your performance in relation to his. If you're beating your teammate partway through the season, you're on your way to becoming or cementing the role of number 1 driver. As the team's number 1, you'll get upgrades before your teammate, and you'll be able to define the team's upgrade path. Essentially, the team will build the car around your needs.
Alright, well so far we're absolutely smashing our teammate at this stage, but hopefully we don't have to win a championship before we get considered the first driver. Hopefully we get that long before that. So loading up the setup for this round, I'm just going through it really quickly. It's probably the same setup as what I ran in the setup video from the other day, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But yeah, obviously we're going to do some R&D testing right now, so let's see what that is. Stay within the racing line for more than 85% of a flying lap. So we'll see how that goes. Coming out on track, and this is just the close of the lap. It was actually pretty boring. So far I've stayed within the racing line for 100% of the lap so far, but coming out of the hairpin we just run a little bit wide, and that's cost us a little bit of that percentage, but it doesn't matter too much. We're at 99% still, so that's not going to be an issue there. So we will easily pass the R&D objective, and I believe the reward for passing this R&D objective was reduced engine wear. So that's something that I'll look forward to. Obviously it's not going to have immediate effects on us. It's something that's going to sort of help us in the long term for this season. But here's the results from the practice session. I only did the single lap with that single set of prime tyres on standard mix, so that's okay. We're coming into qualifying now, and we should be much higher up the field than what we saw in qualifying. This is the first run of Q1. A run wide off that final corner, but we set a banker of a 1:39.449. Now here at the end of the session, I stayed out till the very end and put on a set of options right at the end. This is my second lap on this second run. I had to abort my first lap on this set of tyres because I ran wide on one of the corners. But here we are at the very end of the session. It looks like we're up by a second, and I think by going by the second intermediate split. But we run wide out of the final corner again, and that might cost us. It does. 18th place in Q1. We're not going to make Q2, and that's going to make things very tough for the race tomorrow. So I'm not liking my chances of scoring points, considering I'm very bad at this track, but we'll see how we go in the race. Alright, so here we are, out on track for the Chinese Grand Prix, round number 3 of the F1 2013 Career Mode Series. 4 red lights, and away we go. Straight up into fast, and it looks like we've got off to an average start, but once again, as we get up into 3rd and 4th gear, the other teams just seem to pull away from us, and we'll need to consolidate coming into turn 1. We just need to find a gap between Gutierrez and Verme. We're going to go up the inside of those guys. We've got the Williams right in front of us. We split those two and might go up the inside of one of the Force Indias. Next up is Grosjean. We get around him. Now Raikkonen, we've got to outdrag him on the exit of the Snell section, using up just about all of our curves here. Track position is absolutely key on the first lap, and we're just going to dive it up the inside of all the midfield teams, up the inside of Perez, and we're into position 6. Very forceful move there, but it's clean and effective there. So skipping forward to lap 4 now, and it looks like the Hulk has in fact got DRS, so he's going to pass us up the inside into the hairpin here, but I think I'm going to pit on this lap. I don't want to stay out any longer than what I should on these set of tyres. Hulkenberg gives me a little tap there and I throw up the hand in frustration, but I'm not going to stay out any longer and wait for these tyres to absolutely die. I'm going to preempt that and pit in right now. Oh, I've done Lewis Hamilton. Damn it. That's going to cost us some time on the way into the pit entry, but hopefully when the cars around us pit, hopefully we'll emerge out in front of them, or at least I hope they will. Otherwise, we're going to be screwed for this race, because the tyre wear at the back end of this race will be pretty horrible, so we'll need to conserve our rear tyres for the remainder of this race. And a 3.1 second pit stop, I think that's pretty consistent with the other times that we've had so far in the first 2 races. But here's the outlap. We've got 2 laps before the other AI cars come in, and we'll need to make the most of that with some really good qualifying laps here. Coming up to the back of Chilton now on lap 6, and we should get DRS on him. The AI cars are going to pit in at the end of this lap, and DRS will help me in my pursuit of getting out ahead of those guys. So we'll just need to tidy up this lap for the final couple of corners before the AI do in fact come out of their pit boxes. As you can see on the mini-map there, they are in the pit lane right now, so we've got to put it up into fast, just make as much time as possible, because these AI cars are very quick around China and Malaysia. So I've just got to squeeze out all the performance I can out of this Toro Rosso, just so I can survive in this championship. Looks like we're emerging right in front of Hulkenberg, and we hold position there, I believe. I'm not too sure if Button was in front of us before the pit stops or not. We might have actually lost position to him, but either way, we should be in the points once everything shuffles out in a couple of laps' time. So here we are on lap 11, and things have shuffled out. We're in position 8, and my tyres are really starting to go off now. I'm starting to lose the back end a little bit, and it looks like Hulkenberg has got a good run off me, and he's going to go up the inside there, and it looks like I probably won't have any response to that, as my tyres are absolutely shot at this stage, and I'm just going to be a sitting duck for the remainder of the race, with Paul di Resta right behind me in 10th. And look at that in the dirty air. We've just got nothing. We just can't stay with Hulkenberg in a Lotus, not a Lotus, in a Caterham. That is a Sauber. I'm pretty sure that the car in front of us is a Sauber, and that car just has absolutely no aerodynamic, performance on its own. So you can just imagine how bad that this car feels right now, losing the back end out of every corner, no speed in the higher speed corners. So it's just going to be an absolute nightmare trying to keep Felipe Massa now behind us, as we try and protect the 2 points that we do have on hand at the moment. I'm using my Kers in 6th and 7th gear just to negate the effect of the DRS that Massa has behind me, and it seems to work out pretty well. That's a bit of a defending trick that I've been using for a little while, and it seems to work out fairly well. So it's going to be very tough to defend these final couple of positions, as I said, because you can... Oh, geez, Massa, what are you doing there? You sort of block him off a little bit. He chips off his wing, and he sneaks it up the inside. I've just got absolutely no grip in slow corners, and the AI are just able to swoop in and overtake me quite easily. It's just really unpredictable right now, just how much grip I do have in some corners just with these tyres, and just whether I'm going to make corners or not, or completely spin out. So it's a complete nightmare just trying to keep this thing in a straight line, trying to get to the finish. But it's the last lap now. Pastor Maldonado is fighting pretty hard to get the final point of this race. Sebastian Vettel takes out the race win, if I didn't mention that already. But it looks like we're only going to get 1 point at the very maximum in this race. So we'll need to defend pretty hard from Maldonado as we run wide through the hairpin, but we just get enough traction to get away and get a better exit than him. Coming up to the final corner, Maldonado is going to have DRS, so we'll need to watch out for that. Get a nice little exit there, and the short run up to the line should see us in 10th place with only 1 point in this race. But tyre wear is definitely the determining factor in success for this season, and that's something we're definitely going to have to work on.
10th, nice driving, well done.
The main thing is we're still, consolidating our races with, damage limitation, you'd have to say. We just got to keep scoring points and just see where we end up at the end of the season. We've just got to continue to develop our car and manage the wheel spin. We've got to find ways of reducing tyre wear, and then we'll start scoring more consistent points like we did in Melbourne, a track that doesn't have high tyre wear. So that's going to be my aim for the next couple of races. I'm going to test the aero, test the suspension, the camber, everything, just to see if I can do anything to reduce the tyre wear and hopefully be a little bit more successful in these career mode races. So I might sacrifice my qualifying speed a little bit, but in the end my race pace should be a lot better. So hopefully you enjoy this episode of the career mode series here in China. Until the next race in Bahrain, I believe it is, I'll see you guys then. So it's bye for now.